Justin Marks addressed the situation, saying this yesterday. He said, we've had many conversations with different people today, some difficult conversations. And I think the important message here is that we are a believer in Ross's talent. That's obvious. He's very fast. But he's got some things to clean up. I mean, I'll just be totally honest with you. And we today started the process of more aggressively handling that with our partners, with Ross, and with our team. Not because necessarily that we're mad at him, but because there's so much opportunity here. All right, I know you, Eric, wanted to talk about what you heard from Rick Hendrick, right? Talk about that first.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we saw there from Justin is it strains the relationship internally. And Justin mentioned it in his quotes there, that they're talking not only to Ross, but to their partners. And now they're having to play defense with their partners, because when you start taking Chevrolet teammates consistently out of the race, you know, we saw it at Talladega where he wrecked Noah Gragson, and that ended up causing Kyle Larson to get into a big wreck. And then you wreck Kyle Larson again at Dover, and then you wreck him here. Continually, that starts to create a lot of turmoil inside of that Chevrolet camp. And they're sharing a lot of information, wind tunnel setups, all these different things.
They get their engines from Hendrick, too.
Yeah.
Right. So it creates a lot of strain inside of that camp. And so I think that's what Justin's talking about. And then you talk about the championship. Rick Hendrick's exactly right. You look at all the championships Jimmy Johnson's won. I think back to the championship that Tony Stewart won when he had to drive back through the field. And Tony Stewart had so many friends in the field that would just pull over and let him go chase Carl Edwards down. That makes a big difference.
That's a good point.
You want to make sure that you can save things up for when it matters later on in the season. And I think that's the biggest key here is Ross has got to pick and choose those moments. I'll be the first to say that I stand here and I love what Ross does on the racetrack. I love the aggressiveness. I love the fact that he doesn't move over. I love the fact that he doesn't do it the old school way. And the way that he drives is what's gotten him to this point in his career and gotten him those opportunities. I think what Justin Marks is really saying is, listen, we've got to pick and choose that moment. Right there in that particular instant, if you wait 2 or 3 more corners, if you get through turns 1 and 2, and then you try that move on the white flag lap, or you try that move going into turn 3 on the checkered flag lap, and it doesn't work out, people don't look at it quite the same as what they look at on the restart in that instant. At some point, you have got to monetize some of these performances with that race car into victories. That's the main thing. You got to do it at some point, otherwise it doesn't matter.
And he hasn't been able to do that, to be completely honest. I mean, I'm sitting here as an objective analyst in this point and saying that there's been many of times he's had the best race car in the field and hasn't went on to win the race. And I think a large part of that is because of his aggressive nature and the fact that he doesn't have a lot of guys that cut him a lot of slack on the racetrack.
I know I don't have to remind you guys that we're going to the All-Star race where no points are on the line. Just be aggressive. I'd wreck my mama. Whatever.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.